is Cubs Radio.
Cubs Radio.
Welcome to Herschy and the Keegs Show, starring pitcher Marc Hirschman and his personal catcher, Mike Keegan. Every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. live from the Governor's Comedy Club radio studio. Thanks so much for listening.
A show about nothing. Two morons are talking. They both are really funny. They just go with the flow. It's the Herschy and Keegs Show.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday night, 9 p.m., and what do you know? It's the Herschy and the Keegs Show. I'm fucking amped up tonight, Mark. I don't know what it is. I'm ready to go.
That was a good.
Shot out of a cannon tonight.
That was a good intro. I'm very impressed by that. Are we keeping inventory of these? Because you're trying one out every week.
I am.
And,
you should put them like all together.
Yeah.
And
You
do
know
like
what?
a big like 10-minute opening.
that was like a roller coaster, though. It started off a little slow, and then we just went careening into a ditch.
That's what it is. I go for the bravado.
That was good,
Yeah,
man.
thank you very much. I was pretty impressed with that.
That
one
was
myself.
good. You've been holding that in, huh?
I've been holding it in for a full week.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
That's very cool, man.
You know, last week I wasn't really feeling well.
No.
in here. I was.
A monkey. We had the monkey.
I got that monkey pox.
Yeah.
Wasn't really feeling well. We had a great show still.
Great show.
But today I'm feeling good.
Okay,
I'm
good.
feeling
Because
really-
I got nothing this week, so
Really?
that's good. No.
Well, yeah, I don't really have anything to talk about. I just feel good.
You feel good? Okay.
But
All
no,
right, great.
guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's the Herschy and the Keegs Show. Please take this opportunity to like and share, smash that like button, tell all your friends to listen, because we're happy to be here. I'm
are.
Mike Keegan, Marc Hirschman, Sally is here, our producer,
Correct.
and we're ready to go. I think I'm full. You know, I had a great dinner tonight. I had chicken tenders.
Okay, so you went to Miller's Ale House again? Is that what happened?
Chicken tenders, baby.
Chicken tenders or zingers? Which one?
No. I didn't go to Miller's. I went to. I was at. Actually, you know what? I had the chicken tenders from Checkers, which are not very good. They're supposed to be fry seasoned. They're supposed to have the seasoning
From the
of
same as the fries,
Supposed to
which
be.
is a heavenly mix.
It is. It's great. That's why
Yeah.
I thought they'd be so good. A little disappointed. They were a little bland and
Okay.
very thin.
What about what else did you have? You have a little shake. You have a little.
Banana shake.
Did you have a banana
The
shake?
banana shake at Checkers is great.
And the fries, which are literally 625 degrees inside.
I know, dude. I've never.
It's amazing.
I could have them sitting around for an hour and a half.
Hours.
I've never had not a scalding hot fry.
No, you can order a Checkers fry, go away to a vacation for a month, come back, and it's like, oh, it's still warm.
Yeah, you can insulate your house with those
You
freaking
can.
things. It's
Well, that's how they do it in Levittown, actually. So, was this a solo drive-through Checkers on the way to the show?
Just a little quickaroo on the way to the show.
Wow.
A little running around.
Yeah.
I got a haircut after work. And
Okay.
No, the chicken tenders were delicious.
Yeah.
We had just a busy day today. So
You had a busy day, and you're definitely amped up. You're excited, and
am.
you didn't tell me about you were going to come in all fired up like that with that new announcement, and I didn't tell you something, and I was going to text you about it because it happened the day after the show, and I'm like, you know what? One of the things that Jackie Martling screamed at us about that day was, "Don't you talk before you go on the air, you stupid idiots!"
And and I was thinking of that today also because we had some
Yeah.
good conversation right before we went live.
Yeah.
we were talking music. We were talking.
Yeah.
we'll actually talk about it a little bit. 'Cause I want to bring that up later on.
Yeah,
too.
so I remember that, and so the next night something happened, and I was gonna actually text both of you, and I'm like, you know what? There's no need. There's no need. It's just it can wait. So the next night, I took Max to see how the other side lives. We went to the Met game, which is obviously I'm a big Yankee fan, raising my kid to be a Yankee fan. But I had come into some tickets. You know, I have some hooks. I have a buddy who takes care of me at Yankee games sometimes, and you'll see that my name gets up on the screen and Max's. Yeah. So the same guy happened to be over at City that night, and Max and I get there. We do some BP. Max gets a couple of autographs. It was great. And then he shoots me a text. He's like, come meet me up in the Piazza Club, and I'll introduce you to a couple of people. Ooh. So I don't know Citi Field. I've only been there maybe 3 times in 11 years or whatever.
Yeah. Rubbing elbows with the upper echelon of the New York Mets.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't that upper. It was
Just
dry
driving
elbows.
there alone is so much easier.
Oh my God! It was it was 25 minutes, 30 minutes were there. Parking was a pleasure. Hour and a half normally to get into Yankee Stadium. This was like 5 minutes to walk into
That's
City.
what it is. I mean, they're playing in a couple of weeks. They're playing at Citi Field, the Mets and the Yankees.
Yeah,
I'm so much more looking forward to going to that game than going to see them.
I hate to admit it, but I do. It is true. So he brings us upstairs and he brings us into the booth where all the TVs and all the guys and got there's monitors all over the place, and he's like, this is this guy and this is that guy, and he's introducing me. And just in passing, a guy walks past. And he's like, "Oh, Marc, say hello. This is the Mets PR announcer, Colin Cosell." And so he walks past me, and I'm like, "Wait, shit!" I'm like, "Colin, you did the you did the intro to my podcast." He's like, "Herschy The Keegs," and I'm like, "Holy shit! Yeah, no way!" Yes,
that is so.
I mean, my hunch is he probably has never really been asked to do an intro to a podcast before.
True. Yeah, exactly.
So, and I don't even
It's not like he was like Carton or Roberts. Or
yeah, I don't even know if my buddy knew that he had done that. I'm not even sure. But he's like, "Dude, what's up?" So we shook hands, and Max took a picture with him.
Wow.
And he was so cool. So for those of you who listened to the show, the intro, personal catcher and pitcher, that whole thing is Colin Cosell, who was the Mets, PR now. What is it called? PA announcer.
Yeah.
And
he's not a Puerto Rican announcer.
Right, he's not a PR announcer.
Public relations.
Yeah.
He is also Howard Cosell, the legendary broadcaster's grandson. So he couldn't have been nicer. Super cool. Took a picture with Max, and but he absolutely 2,000% was like, yeah, he totally remembered.
How cool is that?
Yeah. So that
he wasn't like, you got me doing the double entendre.
You know what's funny? My buddy had mentioned something about it. Now that he remembered the whole thing, and he's like, "Wait, the pitcher catcher thing," and I think Colin took a little pause, like, "Wait, did you guys get me?
You got me." Yeah.
But that was it. He took a picture with Max, and he could not have been more gracious.
So cool that he remembered.
So
and
cool.
that,
Yeah. So that we'll give another shout out to Pig Vomit for getting us Colin Cosell for getting that. We haven't talked a lot about Pig Vomit recently because we've been off the guest for a little bit.
I like this dynamic, but I know Pig Vomit he's working tirelessly to get us some guys.
So we have a guest. We shouldn't even talk about it right now, because if we can get this guy, let's put it this way: for people who like TikTok and Instagram Reels, we're working on a guest that Mike and I both think is hilarious.
Dude, I go into these holes. Like, I literally found out his life story. This guy. And
not shocking, but okay.
Yeah. But if you follow us on social media, whatever, we post this guy a lot, and he's a viral TikTok. So
Mikey yesterday on Facebook wrote like, "Oh, we have to get that guy," and then I tagged Pig Vomit, and Pig Vomit is like, "I'm on it." So
he said consider it done. So I'm considering it done.
I honestly, I didn't speak to him all day, and I didn't even think I needed to. Like, I think I was gonna I wonder if he's doing this. Yeah. I'm like, no, he's doing it.
He's definitely doing it.
Whether he got it or not, that's another story.
Yeah. I think he'll get him.
But he also got, which again, and I think we're very far away from attaining this guest, but he actually got a direct response back. I can say it because it's probably not going to happen, or it could. Yeah. How he got in touch with this guy, I don't know, but he got a direct response.
Is just amazing.
He's amazing. Yeah, he got a direct response back from Mike Piazza. Yeah. And Mike Piazza said, "Hey man, thanks for reaching out, but contact so and so." And he, so chances are, once we get to that roadblock, we're probably
of catchers and the double entendre of being a catcher. Now he's not coming on.
He wasn't coming on before, but who knows? I mean, we've reached levels on this show that were never expected.
It's true. And I wouldn't be surprised if we get the old pizza man.
It's possible.
Yeah.
So that was definitely that was cool. We had a good time with the game, and it does pain me as a diehard tattooed Yankee fan with multiple Yankee tattoos that the the City Field experience, from the food to Max hitting wiffle balls in a little mini stadium to Shake Shack, and it's such a great stadium.
Yeah,
and it's
Even
such a
as
better
like
watch.
Mets fans, like it pains me because I love Shea Stadium so much. Like I grew up there. Like my dad was a sergeant, and his beat was inside Shea Stadium.
Oh wow!
So yeah, like I remember being like a little kid and just being like shoved in like on the grass right by like first base. Like, you stay here, don't move. And like you didn't realize until you're an adult, and you go to another stadium and you're like the nosebleed area, and you're like, what's with this?
Right. Very just tender memories of.
So it hurt me to like go to City Field, but it's so cool.
It's such a great watch. That's the thing about City Field, is that almost any seat in the house is a good seat.
Yeah.
Whereas you can be in the 400s in Yankee Stadium, and you can be like in Mars.
You might as well be at the old Yankee Stadium.
You can't see anything.
Tony Walker said, "You should have given the tickets to a real Mets fan, you traitor."
That's right.
Well,
keep Tony in mind. He's a real Mets fan.
And Andy Friender's watching. He says hi to
Andy.
everyone.
Hi, Andy Friender. The thing about the City Field thing was that we literally walked out of the stadium at 10:05, got to the car at 10:10, pulled into my driveway at 10:35.
Yeah.
Now at Yankee Stadium, I literally park a mile and a half away.
Yeah.
The chance of me getting gang raped by the time I get to my car is like 35%.
Seriously, yeah.
Then getting even to the Major Deegan is a colossal disaster. So it's just it's a process.
You can't enjoy. I can't enjoy being at the Yankee game because I'm like, I gotta get all the way to my fucking car.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be in this parking garage for an hour and a half.
It's a lot.
I have work in the morning. I can't enjoy it.
It's a
City
lot.
Field. I did a weekday game last year with some of our buddies like John LaRocchia,
Right.
I think Les Deegan, I think John Santo.
Right.
Big
Yep.
Met fan. All
Yep.
big Met fans.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, it was one of the best experiences I've ever
Great
had.
experience, yeah.
The game's over. It took me 3 minutes to walk to my car, and I'm out of the parking lot in 4 minutes.
It's phenomenal.
It's just, and that's why I'm so looking forward to going to the Met Yankee game now.
Yes.
At City Field.
All right, so you know what? I plan on being to, if not both, at least one of those games. So maybe we'll try to team up and, like the big radio shows do like satellite shows.
Yeah.
So maybe, we'll have the media around us focusing on the satellite show of Herschy and the
We'll get that
Keegs.
in Pig Vomit. Get that in the works.
Pig Vomit,
please.
PV, do that. So
that'll be cool.
So that was probably the highlight of my week. After that, it went downhill a little bit. But before I touch on that, I know that I think you were away this weekend.
I was working in Jersey this weekend.
Okay.
Comedy Cove, which was a great club.
Terrific.
I love the people there.
Okay.
The guy that owns it, Gene, he's just the nicest guy in the world.
Okay.
And I'll work there. If I ever become super Jerry Seinfeld famous,
Right. Not likely,
I'll work, Not likely at all. But I would work there 3 times a year because I love them so much there. And it's a small club, but it's always great.
So is it a legit comedy club, or it's like a hotel kind of club, or
it's a legit club? It's actually it's a steakhouse on the bottom.
Okay.
And the top floor is a comedy club.
are they connected?
They're
Same ownership?
Same ownership.
Oh, great.
Gene and L'Oreal, they're married. They're a couple.
Okay.
They own the steakhouse. L'Oreal's father opened the steakhouse years and years ago.
Okay.
And then Gene and L'Oreal own the steakhouse, and Gene's just like a super passionate comedy fan. So he wanted to open up a comedy club, and he did it upstairs, and it's a every weekend legit comedy club. And
how long's it been there? Been there a while?
Been there a while. Had to be there 30 years.
Oh,
or so.
wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So this guy's in his 50s or beyond?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's probably late 50s, early 60s.
Okay.
And loves comedy. He sits in the back of the room, watches every second of every show.
That is phenomenal.
And, they get names there. Like, Artie Lang did a residency there. Gilbert's been there.
Wow,
Vic,
okay.
Vic does the shows there a lot. And,
Okay.
It's just a good
holds
club.
what, 125?
Holds 100. Yeah.
100?
Holds 100.
And they're pulling in Vic and Artie and Gilbert.
Yeah.
And, wow.
Yeah.
I guess they're raising the ticket prices a little bit for acts like
bit.
that.
They bump it up. I think Jolie Cola's there like 4 times a year.
Wow.
So it's a great club. And,
Must be a great room.
It's a great room. And you know what? Friday nights are always a little bit iffy in the summer. And we had, I think, 12 people showed up.
Okay.
best 12 people I've ever done a show for in my life. It was like
Great
it was
show.
12 people that were like 100, and they were awesome. Like I feel like I did better on Friday in front of 12 than I did Saturday in front of 90. You know, like
So
And I love to hear that you don't care, that like you just are going to give your all for the 12.
Yeah.
You know? Like it irritates me when people are like, oh, it's just 12.
I know.
Mike gives it.
Gene was telling me some stories of people that'll show up and they'll be like, "Oh, there's 10 people there. I'm not going on tonight." I'm like, "No, we're gonna go on because you know what? These people showed up. These are the people that didn't go to the Jersey Shore.
Right.
These guys showed up for a comedy show. We're gonna fucking give it to them."
So it was you and who else? Who
Me, this gentleman, Carl. He's like the house MC there.
Okay,
Very
Carl.
nice guy. He's like the house MC.
Okay.
And on Friday night, I brought John Butera up with me to do a couple of minutes.
Okay.
And
Who's the headliner this weekend?
the headliner was Coleman Green this weekend.
Okay, good.
Very funny guy, Philly guy, colored gentleman.
Okay.
One of the funniest guys
He's
around.
black.
Yeah, African American, whatever you want.
Like I'm talking to someone from like the 1950s when I talk to him. Okay.
Coleman Green, one of the funniest guys around, one of the nicest guys
Okay.
around. He's been on, like, done stuff on like the NFL Network and stuff. And,
Okay.
And he gave them a hell of a show.
Killed it.
An hour for 12 people the first night.
So both nights slaughtered.
Both nights slaughtered. And
Sounds great.
It was a great weekend. We had Father's Day this weekend.
Yeah.
Did you have a nice Father's Day?
Well, so when you're ready, when you're ready,
I don't know. Is the show over yet? No,
You ready?
I'm ready for Father's Day stuff. But I will say,
Please.
as much as I loved the Comedy Cove this past weekend, this upcoming weekend right here, Governor's Comedy Club is the place to be.
Place to be, okay.
Irene Bremis is recording her special right here on the main stage Friday and Saturday night.
Wow.
And I will be warming up on Saturday night for her.
Is
So,
that something?
Yeah, so
When you say warming up, does that mean you're hosting or featuring?
featuring. So
Wow.
yeah, I'm not sure who or if there's going to be a host, but she asked me to open up for her.
Okay.
But she asked me for both nights, but Friday night I had a gig I couldn't get out of. But Saturday night I will be on the show. But come to whichever night you can come to, it's going to be awesome. We
So
love
I
it.
think we'll be in here Saturday night too. So,
Oh,
yeah.
perfect. Oh, great.
And I assume, I know she's tight with Carrie, so I
Yeah.
wouldn't be shocked if Carrie's here.
Yeah, might have a couple of drop-ins and
And I've actually met Irene at parties at Danny Cohen's house many times over the years during the summertime. Very, very lovely lady.
Yeah.
I know that Jodie Wasserman I saw posted that she'll be here.
Yep.
Lori Summer I think had posted. So there'll be people here from
Yeah.
the city. So that's
Yeah.
a big event. So come out to Govs this weekend and support Irene Bremis as she does her first live recording, I believe.
Yeah. So dude, she's calling it the Queen of Staten Island,
Beautiful. Okay.
and yeah, it
Awesome.
should be fun.
Okay, good.
So
I'm looking forward to that. So I'll kind of delve into my weekend. So I'm sure you guys had both seen that I had was dealing with some anxiety. We talked about it on the show
Yeah,
last week,
yeah.
So
some very tender moments we had. On
yeah,
here.
yeah, and it just kind of lasted. It lingered throughout the week, and I knew that something was coming. That's just the way it is. Like that something was coming. So this was Friday night. I fell asleep, and it was just one of those nights where I didn't talk about this last time, but I also, aside from the anxiety, I occasionally suffer from bouts of nightmares. So it's not like my days aren't bad enough, then I just go ahead and have a fucking horrible night where I can't wait to wake up again. So
Do you ever enjoy life?
yeah, it's tough. Like when I'm going through the anxiety, depression stuff, and the nightmare stuff, it's like, whoa, this is like
Yeah.
you can't escape.
You're like a Tim Burton film.
Yeah, it's a fucking disaster. But the nightmares don't happen that often. But this particular night, the night leading into Saturday morning, was atrocious. And essentially what the dream was about, it felt like it lasted for 6 hours. I don't know how long it actually lasted because you can never really gauge how long a dream lasts. But it felt like it was an eternity. And essentially the dream was I had decided that I was going to get a tattoo of my dad. But every time I went to pick up a photo, it wasn't a good photo of my dad. That was the dream. Like his eyes were closed, he was turned sideways, and the dream just kept on going over and over and over again. And I was getting pissed and angry and upset that I couldn't find a picture to give to the tattoo artist that would be appropriate. Okay, so this goes on. It just goes on and on and on. And then at some point, I'm woken up by my phone. My cell phone's ringing, and so instinctively, I'm like,
In the
"Whew."
dream or actually?
No, I literally
Oh,
am
okay.
woken up by my telephone, and I'm like, whew. Like, so your first reaction is, that was an awful nightmare, and I'm glad it's over. But then after about 0.2 seconds, I'm like, why the fuck is my phone ringing 6:30 in the morning? Okay, so the truth is,
your tattoo artist?
when you're, he's like, dude, I have the picture. I have it already. Don't worry about it. I'm like, oh, thank God. Well, that would be nice if I woke up to that. Chris
I
Coots.
lost all the pictures you dropped.
Yeah, if my boy Chris Coots is like, dude, stop worrying in your dream. I have the picture. Go back to sleep, Bub. Everything is okay.
But you don't make that call at 6:30 in the morning.
It didn't happen.
No.
Ironically, it didn't happen. I thought it would, but it didn't.
Right.
So, of course, that phone call is generally not going to be the best phone call. And it was, who was it? I'll give you one guess who it was calling me at 6:30 in the morning.
Barbie doll?
It was Barbie doll. Of course it was. And now he doesn't know anything about this, so of course. Now, the only time that I'll pick up the phone and I'll hear Marky early in the morning like that is either my father's not doing well, but that's not possible because he's dead,
yeah.
or number two, she fell, needs me to come pick her up, and then have a bulging hernia in my groin for the next 4 years. Well, it wasn't either one of those. So I said, Ma, what's the matter? She's like, there's water pouring down all in the apartment. So my mother lives in a condo in Levittown. It's like one of those 55 and overs, 2 bedrooms, very nice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, there's water pouring down into the apartment. And I'm like, so there's nothing you can do other than you have to get up now and
No,
go
you say,
there.
don't call me. Call the fucking super.
There isn't a super.
Oh.
There isn't. This is a town of Hempstead thing, and there's no super whatsoever. They're basically just on their own. They just leave these old people
Jesus
on their own to fucking deal with this shit. So, so after I had that horrible night's sleep, my shirt is soaked because that's how I sleep when I'm going through this shit. So I'm like, all right, Ma, just give me a second. I just want to, wake up and I'll go right over. So in my mind, I'm like, well, hopefully it's not that bad. Hopefully it's like her exaggerating and it's
She called you at 6:30 in the morning. It's bad.
it's bad, and she's also not an over, she doesn't overhype my mother,
Yeah.
But in my mind, I'm like, oh, let's just hope it's something that it looked worse. Let's put it that way. So I get in there into the place, 6:45, whatever it is. I open the door. My mother's sitting. The TV's on at volume 653. So, and then I keep on trying to talk to her, and she's yelling at me. She can't hear me. I'm like, turn the fucking TV down. Maybe we can speak a little bit. And there's literally 2 inches of water in her kitchen. Water pouring down into the kitchen. Then there's water pouring down on top of the washing machine. So there's obviously water coming from upstairs. There's some sort of a situation that's happening upstairs.
Yeah.
So in the middle of this, water pouring, and I'm running, and then I have to go into not their bedroom, but there's like an extra room that it's an extra bedroom, but no one really used it. It's kind of where my father hung out until the end, so I didn't really like going in there, but I had to go in there. And there's like buckets. So I'm like luckily there was buckets in there. I don't know how, but like God dropped buckets in there, empty buckets.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, there was buckets.
Yeah.
So it turned out to be a great day.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I put one bucket on top of the washer, another bucket on top in the kitchen. But mind you, now there's about 2 inches worth of water. So
And it's coming from another condo?
it's coming from up above. Okay,
Like your mom's
Heaven?
condo or another condo?
Heaven,
the
was it
second
your
floor.
father
It's a
crying?
two-floor. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
but
a
it's not
two-
her second floor, right?
No, it's this lady. It's the lady upstairs, second floor.
Does she even know?
So my mother, apparently the lady upstairs had been calling my mother in the midst of this. And then, so by this point, I'm just flippant. I'm going crazy, and I'm throwing towels down and trying to stop the water from pouring down. And then the old lady, this poor old lady who was also by herself, pipes broke in her place.
Okay.
And she didn't know how to turn the water off.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Where do they live? In fucking Cocoon?
they live. It's a condo complex, but they didn't know how to do anything.
You gotta help these people.
So she puts the lady on speaker, and she's like, can you have your son come up here and turn the water off? And I yelled out something horrible, like, tell that old prostitute to fucking figure out it, get her own son to do it. Eventually, someone came, and they turned the main valve off. So I was able to, I'd say for the next 2 hours, I probably was on, just cleaning up water. And I went to my buddy Bill, who's a plumber, and got one of these these industrial blowers to blow the carpet dry, which then there's the problem that the water's underneath the carpet, and it was just a whole fucking calamity.
Jesus.
So I finally get that. 3 hours later, I'm done, and I leave. And
is anything like really damaged?
so upstairs is roached.
All the good pictures of your father were ruined.
Yeah, only the good pictures. It was just all the water was in the one box of pictures. It said, "Don't ruin this."
These are the good pictures.
Gone. Yeah. So there's like the carpeting. We don't know how much water is underneath that. The ceiling is obviously needs to be fixed. And my mother's helper said that the cabinets are a little bit warped. So we're dealing with all that stuff. But finally, I said to my mother after a couple hours, it's Saturday, holiday weekend. Nothing's going to happen today. I called Allstate. They're like, no, their claims people aren't here till Tuesday. So I said, Ma, we're just going to blow the carpet dry. We'll be okay. And then, like 2 hours later, my mother calls me. I'm out with Max going to buy baseball cards or somewhere. We're not in Levittown. We're about 20 minutes away, wherever we were. Mm-hmm. And I hear like a whole fucking calamity of people in my mother's place talking. And I'm like, Ma, what's going on? She's like, they came downstairs. And I'm like, who came downstairs? So it was Evelyn, the old lady's daughter, who's in her 50s. And then they had some like loud talking adjuster. Like
yeah.
So my mother's like, Allstate's here already. I'm like, I said, Allstate's closed. It can't be Allstate. So this guy, you can hear him in my mother's place, and he's just talking loud, and he doesn't stop. He's like, you got to do this with that, this and that. So I said, Ma, put me on the fucking phone with this guy right now.
Yeah.
So he doesn't come on the phone, but the daughter comes on the phone. And she's like, hi, Mark, it's Mary Beth or whatever. I'm like, fuck you. Like, I didn't care or whatever. So
please don't drop C-bombs.
Yeah, that was terrible. I didn't mean to do that. You better edit that right out. No, it's okay. So anyway, I said to her, who is this guy? Why is he in the place? And put him on the phone with me right now. Yeah. She's like, oh, we called the renovation company. I said, so wait, my mother thinks it's Allstate. And it's not Allstate. Yeah. So who is it?
She's gonna agree to shit because she thinks he's an insurance guy.
So the guy, I said, dear, put the guy on the phone with me immediately. So he comes on the phone. He's like, hey, this is Joe. Da, 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 da. I said, where are you from? And he tells you where he's from. I said, were you sent from Allstate or were you not? He goes, no. We're just doing this to. I said, I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna be heading over to my mother's place. If I find out that you don't leave, either I'm going to get there or the cops going to get there first. You're going to hope that the cops are going to get there. Get out of my mother's place right now. Yeah. So they vacated my mother's place.
He's probably some grifter that takes advantage of older.
Whatever it was, I was hot. And Max was...
A carpetbagger, I think they called him.
When I used the line that I said, you better hope the cops beat me there, I look back, Max is cracking up.
Oh, dude.
He's
Max
howling.
Love that shit.
He's loving it. So I'm like, Max, I'm driving you home. Stay with Mom, and I'm going over to Mima's. He's like, no way, I'm going to Mima's with you.
Absolutely.
So anyway, I drop off Max, go over there.
You didn't let him go?
Gone. No, I didn't want him because I was out of my mind.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
I was out of my mind, just enraged, and I was
Imagine.
So,
Jesus Christ.
What the hell?
Tony!
Hey!
Oh, what a special guest!
Wow.
Beautiful drop-in. Scared the shit out of me.
Wow, my God.
Oh, my God.
Tony Walker's here.
Hi, guys.
With his leg.
Tone, how are you, brother?
So, long story short, it's in the process of being resolved, and, it was just a total disaster, but that guy will not be going back.
He wasn't there when you got there?
Oh, no.
Do you know, like, who he was? Or
he was these people from upstairs called...
The upstairs people called
They
him.
just called a rent... what do you call these companies? Like a reclamation company? Or,
yeah, like...
after a disaster. They called it.
I used to actually work for one, and I can't think of what they're called.
But they had made it seem like it was through Allstate. So if it was through Allstate...
Remediation?
Yeah, they were...
They know what it is.
It was there was a divorce happening, and they were going to mediate. That's exactly...
Remediate.
Yeah, so it was a renovation company or whatever you call it. And when I got there, not only was my mother's door locked and closed, but their door going upstairs was locked and closed.
Really?
And then I called upstairs and I said, I don't know who this guy is, and I don't really know you guys, but I don't want anyone in my mother's place unless I'm there. And that was the end of it. So it's in the midst of being handled.
So we're waiting for this week. Allstate's going to.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
But in the middle of this, we had a little guest, Tony Walker, who is the manager of Governor's Comedy Club podcast.
The head honcho guy.
The big guy. He is Silly Sally's common law husband, I guess we call him. Lover.
Yeah, lover.
They handle a house together. He's on camera. If you see something amiss about him, that is a leg that he's missing, and it's just part of it. It's part of the deal. He's got a Met leg.
Oh, that's awesome.
Right. So
how fucking cool is that?
It wasn't bad enough that he's missing a leg. Now he has a fake leg that says Mets on it. Yeah. So is he mic'd? Is he going to be able to talk if we decided we wanted to? We didn't want you to, but we have no choice. I mean, what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
What are we supposed to do? No, we'll give you a minute. We'll give you a minute or two to talk, and then you can leave. No, but what brings you here, Mr. Tony? You have a headset for him? Do we have? I don't need phone. Yeah. Right. So you're in the neighborhood. Tell us a little bit.
Well, you guys said a few weeks ago that you don't see me, so I just figured.
Yeah.
Okay.
We missed you.
But you mentioned just when the show was on a few minutes ago that something about going to a weekday game last year with Les Deegan and Wilkin.
Yeah.
A friend of ours, I was waiting for Sally to mention it. A friend of ours ended up sitting right next to you.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
And did nothing. To this day, keeps on telling me how much fun they had because they were sitting with a bunch of comedians.
It was so much fun. Like those guys are a good time. Like,
listen,
Larokia,
I'm a big Les Deegan person.
Me too.
Yeah.
Love
Like
Les.
John Santos, great, brings his glove to the game, and meanwhile we're way in the outfield.
Love him.
But
doing
they're a lot of fun to
Schwarzenegger
hang with.
impersonations all day.
Exactly.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they're a fun group, and it was it was a Met game. It wasn't a Met Yankee game, but I still enjoyed it because when I was growing up, I was a kind of a Met fan. My grandfather was a diehard Met fan.
Yeah.
And then
So that was that. So you had a good time.
But,
so Tony, you just said I'm going to pop by, say hello to the boys, and to Silly Sally, and here you are.
Here I
a
am.
very pleasant surprise. I love it.
Oh, good.
I'm glad I got to scare you.
No. I thought
I saw the door, but I'm like, oh my god, someone's fucking coming in.
I didn't think that. I just assumed that the door had opened on its own. And I was just
Summer
happy that it
solstice.
wasn't Jackie coming in again. So it was totally good.
Yeah.
So how are things, Tone? Everything okay?
Everything's great. How about you?
Yeah, everything's good.
Yeah, and I think I will put something together with all the intros. I'll make something.
Yeah.
Well, it's just so
Exactly.
funny how it's kind of taken a life of its own on that Mike's today's
and
was
then
like
after we get the mix together, I'll have people vote on which
a
one I
vote.
like.
You'll have a vote. Yeah, definitely have a vote. I like today's though. Today's was
felt good.
really
It felt-
very
it felt
exciting.
good.
Was powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I see the what was it? Checkers really has an effect on you.
Check,
huh?
yeah, really, exactly. I was so excited to try these tenders that they have at Checkers, but they were a little bit disappointing, but a tender nonetheless.
But you had the Checkers fries, which is really magic.
Well, I didn't actually, I don't do the fries anymore, really, because I get the Fry Lovers burger, that they put the fries on the burger for you.
So you still have the fries, though.
You still have
I mean,
the fries,
so, yeah.
but I don't order a side of fries now because they put it on the burger for you.
You know-
They save you the trouble.
That was very nice.
No,
of
you
them.
don't
Yeah.
need that kind of effort in your life.
Yeah.
to
Do you
have to
like
go
the
through.
fries? You like fries and you like burgers.
I like fries. I like burgers, but not together.
all right, gotcha.
You can't put anything on a burger and see. I'm weird like that. I don't like anything ruining a good burger.
Exactly.
Ketchup, lettuce, nothing.
Yeah.
Just not even salt, meat and bun. And it's if you can make a burger right, you don't need to ruin it with anything.
Yeah, I mean, fries on a burger is like it's a lot. I mean, there's a lot.
I've been doing
there.
that since I was a little kid. My friend's dad used to call it a Keegan burger. He used to
Yeah,
it's the white.
no, I would have never guessed. Yeah. Now, I'm a Checkers lover. I think Checkers is one of the top. Like, you can throw Wendy's in the garbage and a couple of the other places.
Yeah.
Checkers is top. So for me, when I drive down Sunrise Highway heading towards the mall and I see that defunct Checkers, it makes me think, like, what in the world has gone on with these people?
When
Like,
Checkers can't last.
how do you
what
let
the
a
hell?
Checkers die?
Yeah.
It's Massapequa. They don't.
But
They,
you know,
Massapequa has all Americans.
Exactly.
oh, that could be
Exactly.
why. But it's
Could be.
still, I mean, it's Sunrise Highway to Merrick.
Yeah.
That could be why, though. Actually,
It could be, if
But-
if I'm in Massapequa and I'm not going all American.
You know
check
what?
my
That's
pulse.
actually
right.
that's a good point. That's a very good point. I never thought of that. But I've seen other Checkers close. Like,
Yeah.
it seems impossible to me that you would close the Checkers down.
I agree.
The Shakes alone should keep it open.
Checkers is
Banana-
that good? Yeah.
Checkers is
great.
terrific.
Yeah.
Really?
Is
They have
terrific.
They have banana milkshakes.
And you know what it is? And it's not like financially you can get away with spending $8.50 and totally being satiated.
And they have great wings there too. Like the wings are like you really tell that they're fast food wings, and the boneless wings. And
I haven't really tackled that. I'm just a
give it a
burger,
try.
fries, and a shake, and I'm good for like 8 and change.
yeah,
And
yeah, give it a shot.
you know, I think if another Checkers closes, we're gonna maybe have a live show to get it back.
Yeah, like what the hell happened here?
So we were thinking about that as the Governor's Comedy Club podcast manager. Tone, you think if we wanted to do remote during the Yankee Met game?
We could
from
actually,
Citi Field?
Yeah, we could actually just set up Zoom, and then you could Zoom from your phone, and we would just be
We
in
gotta do it. And there's a Tuesday night and a Wednesday night game. I mean, we could do the Tuesday night game.
Or if you just take footage with the phone, and then I'll edit it later on, and you can like do it on the
What do you
next
think
show
of
to
this,
talk
Alex?
about it.
That's
let's
true.
talk
Also, we
about
have a lot of
this.
options there.
We're going to talk about this.
Yeah.
We're going to definitely talk
We
about
promise
this.
you that there will be some kind of a broadcast from the Met Yankee game.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to promise everyone that.
I love that.
Consider it done.
I love it.
Yeah.
Speaking of food, this is a good segue. Speaking of food in Massapequa, are you familiar with this Mike's Underground Pizza facility that they have?
Familiar with it. I've never had it though.
Okay, so I have you guys? There's an underground pizza place called Mike's.
I think it's more Amityville.
Oh, maybe it's from Amityville.
Yeah.
Okay, but still, it's in that neck of the woods.
But I'm on their secret menu list.
Yeah.
Because you actually have to text them a code sentence.
What's the code usually?
Banana
Like, what
shake.
was last
It's
week?
banana shake.
It was the one that I did. It was leave the gun, take the cannoli.
Oh.
And then they put you on this secret list where once a week they'll send you their menu.
But why is it secret?
Because it's like a ghost kitchen. There's no storefront or anything.
Yeah.
All you do, you call this number, you order the food, and they'll deliver within Amityville only. But if you want to meet them, they'll meet you at the gazebo in the middle of town.
Yeah. Well, so I'll tell you my
Amityville.
experience. The
And what's like
password.
the health department like in there? Like,
I don't
what's
know.
it-
So that's the thing that's interesting. And
That makes me
By the way, the
nervous.
password last week was diabetes, and the one before that was gout, actually. I knew nothing about it until the COVID hit. And my neighbor Johnny across the street, or maybe, I don't know if he told me or I told him, but we became aware that you can order pizza and then just go meet these. And supposedly it was lights out, the best pizza ever.
So this was a COVID thing.
Yeah, it was,
Well, no, but it's been
okay.
around before COVID.
The person that delivers it like in a black Lincoln. They wear a suit like they're like a mafia.
He's
guy.
exactly right. So
Any cocaine on this pizza? What's going on?
well, so me and John, my neighbor, we go. This is in the heart of COVID. So COVID started in March of 2020, I guess.
Right, yeah.
So this must have been like May, June, and we
Yeah, the
placed
thick of
the
it.
order, and they say, all right, meet us at so and so at Burns Park, which is not far from where you guys live.
No, not at
You
all.
know at Burns Park, right?
Yep.
So we're over at Burns Park, and we pull into the lot that they tell us to meet, and the next thing we see is like 25 cars of people that it's just like moms and dads looking like us, like outside smoking butts, like pacing around, waiting, and a guy in a black Lincoln Continental, a kid, he was young in his early 20s, comes out in a shirt and tie. It was hot out, so I don't have to get a jacket on, and he's got a whole trunk full of pies, like 10 feet high, you know. So
This is it. I get a text like once a week.
yeah,
From
Mike gets a
from
private text.
and they send you the weekly menu, and this is the special this week, the pepperoni pie. This is their menu for the week.
Yeah, I want to see
And-
this.
yeah.
Tony doesn't eat pizza, so fuck
Yeah,
it over.
exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah, let me see.
So, yeah.
one of the things so here's what I'll tell you. I'll just give you the review. One thing I learned, and this is something that I should have known being a pizza lover, is that if you travel with pizza for more than 5 minutes, you have a different product by the time you get home.
Right.
Pizza does not travel. You have to get pizza and eat it. So I know that from when I order from Amore in Queens, I try to get home as fast as possible, but it's a different item. Okay, so we had at that time, and it was okay, and you could tell they do it a little differently, and it's like a well done crust.
It's like some fermented crust that they use. That's like they cook it different than.
It's a different thing. We were
fermented
not
sounds like mold to me. Is fermented?
I'm thinking,
like fermented sounds like
pizza
left
guy sneaking
out
pizza
of
out, yep.
refrigeration to me.
Well, that's the mold pie. You get that the mold pie,
But you're right. It doesn't travel well. Even like on Barstool Sports, Dave Portnoy, he takes the pizza 5 minutes after he orders it, and he's like, but still, once they put it in the box and close that cover,
it changes.
It's a different animal.
So by the time you get this from Burns Park and you get in your car and drive home to Levittown, it's a 15, 18 minute exchange. Yeah. But now that we're out of COVID and there all these other restaurants open up, there are still people ordering. And the truth is, the thing that's fantastic to me about it is that you don't know anything about this place. Like, think about it. If I told you you're going to go into a pizza place and potentially there's mice, there's bugs, you have no idea. And I'm not saying that there is about this place. I don't have any idea. But people trust it. They don't know where it is or what it is. Nothing.
It's what they call a ghost kitchen. There's no storefront. Oh, where do you guys make these pies? I'm not fucking telling you.
Isn't that something?
Our mystique.
Like, they could be like jizzing on your pie. Yeah.
No, that's extra.
Well, no, that's pizza.
But it's worth it for you to go from Levittown to Massapequa to get it? Like, is it that good that
Because it doesn't even look inexpensive. So
there was a mystique about it that it was.
Yeah. Why are people doing this?
I will tell you, I did not find it to be that great, but I don't know if it was because of the fact that we traveled with it. And it was
Did you have pepperoni? Because the pepperoni is supposed to be really good.
Yeah, they just sat at the park and ate it.
You know what?
I mean, that you got to give them a fair shake. I think we got to try that.
You got to do that.
Maybe we'll do a remote show from Burns Park.
The truth is, if we weren't bringing home pizza for a family of 10, 5 and 5, we would have done that.
Fuck them. Don't even give it to them. Just sit in Burns Park and eat the pizza and see what you think. Yeah.
Well, I guess if we give it a shot again, but I just think it's so interesting that people are so like, oh, I didn't like that place because it was so dirty. That you have no idea. This guy could be making pizza, in his kitchen in his basement,
rubbing his balls.
Yeah, ball pie.
Ball pie. Come to Mike's ball pie.
You know
what I used to do when I used to deliver pizza?
Oh, I didn't want to know.
No, it's not.
Did you eat some?
I ate so much.
Do you think?
No, I never touched the stuff.
Yeah.
I used to eat the cheese while I was grating all the cheese, the mozzarella. I used to just eat it by the fucking handful.
I worked in a restaurant too. I used to go into the walk-in cooler and eat all the crab legs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I did it all the time.
Cool.
But I was a delivery guy, and the guys that I work with did some nasty shit to some of the food, but I never did anything nasty.
No.
But I knew
you would never do that to food.
No. I respect food too much.
It's precious and tender.
Same. It's very tender to me.
Yeah.
So what I
like a chicken.
Yeah, like a tender chicken. A
chicken tender.
Like a tender chicken. Like a tender chicken.
Oh my god.
But if there was a customer that people would order weekly, and I knew they weren't tippers, what I would do was I would make them the last stop on my delivery route, and the whole time I would keep the box open with the air conditioner shooting right on the pizza.
All right.
They never got fresh pie, never got a warm pie.
Right.
Ice cold. Like I never spit on it or came on it or anything.
Right.
But
I tell you that I spend a lot of my lonely dark nights watching reels and TikToks, as you know. I do that a lot. And I saw something the other day that was so fascinating that if your life trajectory ever takes you back to delivering pizza, which the odds are 50-50. Probably.
Within the next 6 months, maybe.
I'm just saying, if it happens again, this guy, he basically, what he would do, he was a pizza delivery guy, and if he was hungry, he opens up the pizza and he would cut just in the middle.
I would bring my own knife.
Just in the middle, he would cut, so he'd wind up having like a long strip of pizza, and then he put it back together. And let's say he did that for 2 or 3 pies. He's satiated.
Did I never think of that?
That round thing that you could slice pizza with. That just keeps that in your purse.
He's like, if you're taking an inch from each pie, they're not really going to know that.
Absolutely not.
So
I should have done that.
Yeah.
You know what I used to do though? I used to. It would Friday nights. I would have one of my friends call up and order like a couple of heroes and never pick them up. So when I'm leaving work and nobody picks up the heroes, my boss is like, "Well, I'm not going to throw these out. Why don't you just take them?"
That's genius.
Wow.
So I used to get
Mike, it's the 3 veal parmesans every Friday. Here you go.
Why does this person never pick up these 3 veal parmesans?
The person that calls up for 3 veal parmesans from Mike Keegan, they never pick them up.
With French fries on them.
and tender chickens.
Tender chicken.
Can I have the tender chicken parmesan with fries on it? Every Friday, the guy doesn't pick it up? What the
exactly.
fuck is this? That's
Oh,
great.
man.
Holy cow.
But yeah, my friend went to the University of New Haven, so I'd just go up with all these heroes, and I'd get out of work Friday, drive up to UNH, and we'd do Vicodin and play Tiger Woods.
Wait a
golf.
second. How
Do
would you?
Vicodin?
I'm not saying you. I'm saying in general.
Just Vicodin.
How would you? I would never be able to travel that. That's a haul.
Yeah.
With heroes in the car. Like
Yeah,
hopefully you knock
I would
one
eat
down.
one on the way. Of course I'd eat one on the way.
Yeah, yeah.
But I'd get there, and I'd be the no pun intended, I'd be the hero because I got all
Yeah.
this food. And
Yeah.
And yeah, I made a drink up called a Vicodin. What we used to do was we would take a pint glass, fill it up with ice, 3/4 of the way with Seagram's gin, 1/4 of the way with ginger ale, and then crush up 3 Vicodin and sprinkle it in the drink.
So you know what's
that's-
interesting? So Kim Kardashian is married to the guy from Blink-182, right? Travis Barker.
That's Kourtney Kardashian. I think it's Kourtney Kardashian. Kim Kardashian's with Pete Davidson.
Okay, so
I think it's Courtney.
what's his name? Travis Barker.
Travis Barker, yeah.
And they say that it's amazing that he's alive because he survived an actual plane crash. I think it's more so with you. Amazing. Vicodin?
No one's more surprised
No,
than
I mean
me.
Vicodin.
Vicodins.
Like Keith Richards over here.
I mean,
It's
I mean,
amazing.
oxygen sometimes. I do Oxycontin and sprinkle
Wow.
oxygen. But those were $80 a pill, so you didn't really want to waste them. So we used
The Vikes were?
the Oxycontin.
Oh, the Oxycontin.
80
okay.
milligram Oxycontins, they used to be like $60 to $80 per one pill.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah, those are... They're,
Are they that much when you don't have a prescription for them? Is
Yeah,
that true?
You have
Yeah.
to watch Dope Sick to really
yeah,
get it.
that's
yeah.
right. I
Michael
didn't get to
Keaton.
watch... Yeah. I didn't
Yeah, you
get to
gotta
watch
watch
it. I
that.
told you I was going to watch
Oh,
it.
it's something.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
That's
did.
amazing.
I had oxy when I had my amputation. I had like hallucinations
Yeah,
and crazy dreams. I stopped after 2 days, and I just went cold turkey and dealt
Exactly. You
with the
could
pain.
get really, really
Oh, it
hooked
was
on them. Like,
crazy.
yeah.
Wow.
It's they are just everyone. People always ask like, what does it feel like? I'm like, it feels like you're being hugged from the inside by like a warm teddy bear.
I think you should go back.
That sounds romantic.
Now I want one.
Oh my God.
I'm not doing any favors to the people that are
Someone
trying to
hug
get people
him.
off.
It's a
Give him
shame.
a hug.
It's a shame that you miss out on that.
But then you develop a crippling addiction to it, and you
Yeah.
steal from your family.
This is
So-
all from his dad not hugging him.
From my dad not hugging me and giving me these tender moments
Just
as father and son.
I'm having some foreshadowing. So Tony, but you can definitely keep it to a minute or less because I know you don't want to talk about it, and we don't really want to go that way necessarily with the show. But I'm gonna get texts. Hey, what's wrong with that guy, Tony? What happened? So just give a quick. Let us know. Let the audience know what happened. You were ill years ago, and
I was swimming just at Jones Beach.
Jones Beach, right?
and I
Field
went out
4.
too far, and
Too far.
Yeah.
and
It was
yeah,
a
I
woman
stupid,
next to
get
him with
away
a
Dumb.
period and a great
Yeah.
white shark came.
Exactly.
Stupid move. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. So moving on. No,
But yeah,
go ahead.
Osteosarcoma. 2002.
Okay.
Tumor wrapped around the outside of the bone. Tried to save the leg on crutches for 3 years, and then I said, "Enough. Let's just
Yeah.
cut the fucker off."
yeah, exactly.
And here I am.
Okay.
enough.
And you're
And-
doing good. Thank God. You're strong. And
We got our Tony, we got our Mets prosthetic, and we're all good.
So Tony
Absolutely.
obviously was married with children, and so is Silly Sally. The year the union happened, were you guys, for
Here's the story.
married or common law married or whatever we want to call it? When was that? That you guys really moved in together and
Well, we moved in together almost 4 years ago.
okay, but you've been together for a
We've
lot
been
longer.
together for 10.
10, okay.
And we knew each other. We've known each other since the mid 80s.
Oh, I didn't realize
wow,
that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't realize that. Okay. So while you both were married, you guys knew each other.
We lost contact for
No, we knew each other when we were kids.
and then we lost contact.
Kids like
for-
what? Like school kids, you mean? Or?
Yeah, I was. Sally's a lot older than me. But,
Yeah,
I
okay.
say that all the time. But I was in junior high.
Yeah.
We're talking about food. She worked at a help me out.
It's like a fish and
A
chips.
fish and chips place.
Okay.
Sorry.
You just get hotter and hotter, Sally.
Yeah.
Fucking A, man. Well, that was the thing. She would hook me up. I would go in there and she'd get me this big bag of steak fries.
That's awesome.
And I didn't even have to order. I would walk in. She'd see me. So I get fresh hot fries, and that's when I was like, "Oh, I love this girl."
Yeah.
And then we lost touch.
There used to be this Puerto Rican girl at Wendy's that used to do that for me.
Yeah.
I miss her. Aaliyah was her name.
She didn't, right? And you love that girl
I'll
forever.
never forget her. Yeah,
That was the same thing. I never forgot her. I found her on Facebook, and we
maybe I'll find
reconnected.
Aaliyah on Facebook and I ditch Carla and.
Now you have a Colombian girl get you French fries.
Yeah,
So
That's why he loves Carly. He sees that other
Yeah.
girl. Yeah.
So you guys have been living together for 4 years, and listen, we've talked about Silly Sally, and we know that we talked about Silly Cindy, and just to kind of reiterate, the thing that I love the most that I read that Cindy had talked about, she posted maybe a couple of weeks before she passed, was how. She thought Tony was the best thing that happened to their family. And I think that's so precious. I did at the time, and then certainly I brought it up after she had passed. It's
pretty obvious, actually.
What's that?
It's pretty obvious.
Yeah,
we all do know you're a great guy, and we feel like we're family. And
But that's such an incredible thing because everyone can say what they want to say, but until you hear someone who is kind of objective, I guess, to come out with something like that, I just thought it was for her to say it right before she passed. I don't even think she knew she was on the verge of passing when she said it. It didn't seem like.
No, yeah,
So,
that wasn't why.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So I think it's a testament. You guys seem to have a really great thing together as far as your kids and co-parenting and taking care of dogs and
Yeah, we do.
Sally not wanting you to climb the stairs and her wanting to do things for you. We understand why now. It's just great, and we're glad that you would come
Good
in.
people.
Don't do it again.
Salt of the earth.
No, we're glad that you would come in tonight.
Thanks, guys.
I don't know about Salt of the Earth, but Sally maybe.
And where's the what is it? The cock
the cock box. Yeah,
No cock box tonight.
Is there no
No
cock
cock
box?
no cock
tonight.
box
No
tonight.
cock box.
We're gonna have
No.
to do a super special cock box next week.
Well, we have a guest next week. His name is Skull Bandit. What is it called?
The Copenhagen Bandit. My buddy Cameron Summers.
So Mikey's buddy Cameron Summers, who's a comic down in Missouri, is that right?
Joplin, Missouri. Yep.
And he has a large following, and he wanted to come on, and we want to have him on. So that's going to be next week.
Good guy. He's a lot
Is
of
he
fun.
actually going to be here?
He's,
or
no, he's going to be on Zoom.
Oh,
He's
Zoom it
down.
in.
He's
Yeah.
down in Missouri. He's
Wow, very nice.
I got introduced to him by my buddy Preston Lacey from Jackass.
Yeah.
He was Preston was supposed to come on the show one time. And he's like, "Hey, listen, buddy, I can't make it. You want to talk to my buddy Cameron? Called himself the Copenhagen Bandit. He's got a huge following down here in Missouri. He's viral on TikTok and Instagram and stuff.
Awesome.
The guy's got a ton of followers, and you could tell why. Like, you guys will see next week. We'll play some of his clips,
I can't wait.
and just a super nice guy.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's good because we haven't had, as we're kind of feeling the show out and seeing which direction we're going to go in. We were hot and heavy with the guests, especially the sports guests, and then we talked and we decided to go a little easier on that. But a guest like next week's a comedy guest.
Yeah, we'll talk entertainment. We'll talk
Yeah.
life in the South. We'll talk. He's a road dog. He's on the road every weekend doing comedy.
Amazing.
So
Okay. Good.
He's also big into like car racing and stuff, and
That's I'm excited.
he's
I'm looking forward
good
to
guy.
it.
Very tender.
One thing I it's so funny. Every week when I make my notes during the week, the things I want to talk about, sometimes we just don't hit it. But we
You know what it is? Because we have good banter going.
We do have good banter, but from a current event standpoint, we've never talked about it, and I think today's the day. Do you guys follow
Joe Biden falling off a bicycle?
the
right.
Deshaun Watson
Oh my
situation at
God.
all?
Yeah.
So Deshaun Watson, for those who are not knowledgeable, is an NFL player. Played for the Houston Texans for years. Then got traded just about 6 months ago to the Cleveland Browns. Was that what they're called now? I don't even know if
I don't
are
think
they
they're
the
allowed to be brown
Guardians. I
anymore.
don't even
think-
know.
Well, the Cleveland Indians, the
No,
Guardians,
the Browns are allowed to be brown.
The Brown,
I don't know.
For now.
So anyway, he was traded because he was suspended for a year because he had 24 cases against him for sexual misconduct.
Yeah.
He should have went to the Steelers. What were they thinking?
I know, right?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sexual misconduct. Essentially, 24 women came out and said that he had acted inappropriately during massages, and there were texts to prove that he was a serial boner checker. He would essentially go for massages with the idea of, hey, look at my dick. Like that would basically
exactly, yeah.
that would essentially be the case. So today it came down that 20 out of the 24 cases have settled. meaning that he probably
Paid
gave
them off. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's got a. They got off.
Well, I mean, he probably finally he paid 20 of the 24 off.
Yeah.
His contract was $250
Well, that's
million,
what
I
it is.
believe.
That's what it is. He's got this giant contract.
Yeah.
They want to get him on the
His
field.
giant. I'm
He's
like,
got this
don't say
giant-
it. Don't say it, Mikey.
Contract.
Yeah, we know what he's got a giant of.
Yeah, exactly. Got
Yeah.
the old baby
Tube steak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's got this massive,
Massive, long,
big, tender.
foot long.
Well, maybe no one would have complained if he did. That was the problem.
He's got this big black throbbing contract.
Oh my God in heaven.
Throbbing.
Throbbing contract.
Throbbing contract.
Big black veiny throbbing contract.
Help me, please. Please help me. Oh God.
So really, he's got the money to spend.
Yeah.
They want to get him on the field, so he's going to settle with all these people.
Settle.
Because it wasn't stopping at 24. I think they were supposed to be more.
Right.
But,
Well, there will be more now when they realize that they're
that
getting
they're
a
gonna get
million
paid,
or
yeah.
2 million apiece.
Yeah.
But what's crazy to me is that these cases were still pending when the Texans, when the Cleveland team decided to accept him in a trade and pay him $250 million.
An exorbitant amount of money.
After there was still all these cases
Yeah.
of Tex saying, "Look at my dick,"
It's
and
just-
that's all that happened. Like it
Yeah,
was just,
where are the ethics?
yeah, I don't know. I really don't know.
But
So that came out today, and I thought it was pretty amazing that. So those 4 outliers, they're holding out for more money,
yeah,
obviously.
exactly.
So
Everyone's gonna get paid.
Yeah.
He's gonna be playing because
Yeah.
the NFL lets you play whether you beat your wives, whether you beat your kids, whether you kill dogs.
That's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering if any of that money's coming out of his pocket. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's probably not.
It's probably coming right from the organization,
Right.
Because they want to sweep this thing under the rug,
Right, and get 'em on the field.
and
So
get everyone to forget
you
about
make
it.
a good point about the NFL, so we can hit on that for a second about the dogs. So we know Michael Vick did horrific things.
Yeah.
And
What's his
ultimately
name? Used to beat his kid with the switches from
the switch. Yeah. But
Go get a switch.
I'll tell you, the worst thing that I've ever seen from the NFL was that there was actual video that we were all able to see from Ray Rice not only dragging his
Yeah.
girlfriend
Yeah.
out of an elevator,
Right.
but punching her in the face and knocking her unconscious,
Yeah.
dragging her like he was a caveman, and I believe he got 2 games at the time suspension.
Yeah,
Oh,
2 game
that's it?
suspension.
That's it?
Two games. Was
Ray
it 2?
Lewis killed somebody.
Well, so the Ray Lewis thing, it wasn't proven. There wasn't video of that.
Yeah.
But we saw Ray Rice knock his girlfriend out and drag her like he was a caveman.
Yeah.
Like, how the hell did he ever suit up ever again?
I know.
Yeah, crazy. Totally crazy.
But it's just
I don't get it.
That was just the thing. These guys get away with fucking everything.
Yeah, I just that one is unbelievable.
I pushed Carla into a wall one time. I did 3 years in jail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you push Carl into the wall, you'd be 3
We wouldn't see
3
you
years
again.
No, exactly.
pushing up daisies and then another
yeah.
eternity.
3 years in jail would be you'd be asking for that. Yeah.
Yeah, it was my idea to do the 3
Get
days.
me away from her
Yeah,
quick. She's gonna kill me.
Yeah, you would pray for 3 years in jail if you
Yeah.
did that to her. How is our beautiful Carla, by the way?
Carla's doing great. Carla's
She's the best.
She is. She's a good kid.
She's gonna get a kick out of today's show. Today was all you came in all banana
I was-
splashed up today.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
hot and cocked and ready to go.
Yeah.
Hot and cocked.
Yeah. You were like Deshaun Watson in a massage parlor.
I was throbbing.
Wow. Yeah.
But we didn't really get told. Did you have a nice Father's Day though? After all the
Oh, I didn't even tell you. So Father's Day. Let's talk about my relaxing.
And happy Father's Day to you, Tony. I didn't
Yeah.
get to
You
happy
guys
Father's
too.
Day.
You
Thank
all
very
had great
much.
posts and stuff.
Thank
I
you.
had
Happy Father's Day,
I had a
everybody.
super relaxing Father's Day. I woke up around 7:00 with heavy palpitations, and I decided that what do I need to do today? Go to the cemetery, of course. So I drive to the cemetery, spend some time with my dad, Not a lot of conversation as much as I tried. And then went home, and we were going to go to Stacy, my wife's twin brother's house for the day, out east in Bayshore. And at some point, I came up with the idea of, because they rescued a dog from Aruba, like Hazel's an Aruban dog. They rescued a dog who's now about 7 months, and I decide, let's bring our dogs out there today. So why I would want to do that on Father's Day, but I'm a stupid person when it comes down to it. So the kids were like, yeah, we'll bring baby, we'll bring Hazel, we'll bring the toys and this and that. So we get there around 2:00, and from 2:00 till around 3:15. Essentially, I'm in the middle of a Michael Vick dogfight video where Hazel and their dog are just literally like
they knew each other from the streets.
They're climbing on each other, and there's growling and biting.
Baby's used as bait.
Baby was kind of just out of the way, but these two were just at it.
And you only got suspended from one episode of the podcast.
It was just unbelievable. Yeah, and so at one point, so we're in Bayshore, and there's a huge backyard, and Hazel comes back. And I look at her, and my brother-in-law's like, "Oh my God, she's bleeding!" And there's red stain all over the back of her, and I'm like, "Oh my God, I can't believe she's bleeding." So of course, like I'm rubbing to see what it is. It turns out that she was rolling in berries in the backyard.
Come on, really?
Yeah. But I'm like, of course, stroked out already at this point.
Her and Hazel did each other. So how do we fuck with anxiety?
It was terrible. So at one point, and my brother's an easygoing guy usually with this stuff. He's like, "No, they'll figure it out." Well, they never figured it out. So at 3:15, I got to pack the dogs up in the car, drive home by myself, get rid of, feed them, do everything. So now I'm back in Bayshore an hour and a half later.
Oh my
okay.
Gosh.
And then maybe like an hour after that, Samantha's like, I told you I have this online class, and if I don't study it, I'm going to go. And Samantha, when she gets going, done. You're done. Yeah. So back in the car, drive Samantha back home to Levittown, come back later, an hour.
You came
later.
Back again?
So I made 6 trips back and forth.
I hate driving to Bayshore.
A relaxing Father's Day.
Oh my
Finally, at around 10:30. Home, called it a night, and just was excited that the next day was Juneteenth observed. Yeah, and that was that. So that's my story
for the whole weekend.
That was it.
Awful.
It was rough. It was a rough weekend. It wasn't great. But I've been looking forward to tonight, and this episode flew. I mean, we're at 10 o'clock already. So, Mikey, I want you to kind of talk about this weekend a little bit.
And also, I don't know if you noticed, or anybody else noticed. I know you hate the word tender, and I've used it at least 25 times.
I used it twice.
I texted Sally before. I'm like, I'm going to say tender a lot of times, and feel free to join, because I know Marc hates that word.
I was
if anybody caught in on that.
Cringing a little bit over here, but we did okay. We got through it, and a pleasant surprise from Tony Walker tonight.
Thank you for letting me join you guys.
We kind of didn't have a choice. It was awkward. And happy Father's Day. So, Mike, you close again with talk about the Skull Bandit for next week.
Copenhagen Bandit. If you call him the Skull Bandit next week,
that's not going to
nothing's really going to happen.
He's a nice guy. Irene Bremis.
So tune in to this show next week. We have the Copenhagen Bandit, Cameron Summers. Take this time to friend him on social media. Follow him. Guy puts up so much content and great videos every day. He does beer reviews. He does chewing tobacco reviews. The guy's a monster.
I can't wait. We're
going to have a lot of fun with him. Yeah. And then this weekend, check out all the shows at the Governors Clubs, but most importantly, right here at Governors in Levittown on the main stage, Irene Bremis is taping her special Friday night and Saturday night, and I will be warming up the Saturday night show. But come to one of them, at least,
awesome,
or both.
Great.
But I'll be here Saturday, and I guess you guys said
we'll be in here. You
guys will be here, so I'll be
doing the show on Saturday night?
Yep, we'll be in here.
Okay, good.
So I'll be with Tony and Sally Saturday night. Tune into that also.
Awesome.
And tune into Knock 'em Dead Comedy all the time. And
Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay.
And go to all the Governor shows, and please like us and follow us and
all that.
Just tell us nice things.
Awesome. Thanks, folks, for listening and watching. We love you.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Oh, that was funny. We laughed.